This is Graig. Graig is a gamer. He's a professional gamer. He's a professional gamer paid by Team Cherry to playtest their upcoming releases, which includes Silksong. His main job is to run the latest beta to 100% completion, note any bugs he found, and repeat the process over and over and over again until a new beta is ready for him to playtest. Why does that matter? They have tons of playtesters, right? Well, he's actually Team Cherry's lead playtester. And for the past 5 years, he's been actively sending messages in the official Hollow Knight Discord server. That's a lot of messages. Over 28,000 to be exact. But I did it. Took me 2 weeks to rake through it all, but I did it. And I'm quite satisfied with my findings. I'll be upfront so there's no misinterpretation. This video does not contain any groundbreaking Silksong news. I did collect some interesting insights on Silksong and its development, a lot more on Hollow Knight's creation and the history of Team Cherry, and some lore. Though, do I know the final boss of Silksong? Yeah, it's Millibug. But that's besides the point. In these 5 years, Graig hasn't broken NDA. To our disappointment, I guess from his perspective he's happy this video won't get him fired, so yeah, no crazy Silksong news for today. Hello, hi, it's me, everyone's favorite marketable Hollow Knight plushie, here to strategically promote today's sponsor, Moonscars. It's a brutal and unforgiving Metroidvania which— Oh god, we're starting this already? I didn't even get to clarify that my plushie presence isn't a form of Team Cherry's endorsement. Grey Irma, a pristine among Claiborne, must travel these demented lands in search of her sculptor, in hopes of understanding the gaps in memory between her many, many deaths. Use her trusty longblade to cleave through the horde, potent magic to shatter ceramic flesh, or one of many unique specials to decimate all who oppose you. The longer you survive, the more temporary boosts you'll acquire, increasing the lifespan of the current mold you inhabit. But even pristine, you will break, and you will be reformed, just to break once more. Whether you overcome the challenges ahead, or watch your own ichor run dry, one thing remains certain. There's a cat in Moonscars. Look at the cat! Bruh, bruh, bum, bum, bum. I think it's a little insane, but you know, still a frumpy boy. Pat, pat, pat. Anyways, as of today, Moonscars is officially published. To get a hold of the action for yourself, link to their Steam page is in the description and pinned comment below. I highly recommend it. Been having a blast with this Metroidvania, and I trust you will too. Thank you again to Moonscars for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the lore. Back in the day, he and William actually went to the same Greek school, which was a direct inspiration for why Hollow Knight's gods act a lot like those in Greek mythos. Graig's time in college granted him a chemistry degree in drug design, making him incredibly knowledgeable in the field of theoretical synthesis. But he doesn't do chemistry anymore, as in his words,
no money in it, Lamau, unless you, go solo.
Luckily, he and William stayed very close friends after graduating high school, which leads us to how he acquired the role of lead playtester. For 15 years, he's been a part of the Team Cherry family, and all that time he's stayed supportive of William's endeavors as a game designer. He witnessed the creation of Hungry Night at the 2013 Ludum Dare Game Jam. For about an hour, but you know that's more than most of us. And though he directly witnessed 2 years of Hollow Knight's development, he wasn't playtesting the entire time. Team Cherry's funds were running dry around 6 months before release, with Graig even having to buy William some lunches. And with the game nearing completion, Team Cherry needed reliable playtesters. Graig's involvement with production was gradual at first, but by the month before release, he was working full-time as lead playtester. But what does that role entail? To start, Graig isn't an employee of Team Cherry. He's a contractor who only works when called upon, making him less privy to insider info on Silksong. Unless William accidentally let something slip, which he's done on multiple occasions, but we'll get into that later. As lead playtester, Graig is fairly involved in game balancing. He primarily focuses on finding any outright game-breaking bugs, and provides quality-of-life suggestions for the team to consider. Or as Graig likes to put it,
This is me as a playtester. Oh, this is cool. Make it harder. And repeat.
don't worry, Graig's just exaggerating, they do listen to him. The shade map marker, Cornifer's note, phase 2 of Nail Sage Slide, the muffle applied to audio when damaged, and of course, the Zote title screen. All suggestions by Graig, fully implemented into Hollow Knight. Now with Silksong, he's under NDA, so we don't know what impacts he's made. But we do know he's playtesting it. A fun technicality I realized is that Team Cherry doesn't verbally explain the lore to him. They just hand him a beta and leave what Graig witnesses up to his own interpretation. That's another good point. He too likes to theorize Hollow Knight lore. He was one of the first to conclude Hornet wasn't void, and has come up with some other interesting theories which we'll also go into later, but my point is, these theories aren't based on any insider information. However, in the past, Graig sneakily foreshadowed future content. He hinted at a certain addition to the Hidden Dreams content pack, and accidentally predicted 80% of Godmaster. In 2019, he predicted Team Cherry would give a February update, then foreshadowed the Silksong reveal trailer just 3 days before it going public. In 2020, he randomly asked if anyone remembered gaming magazines, foreshadowing Edge Magazine's interview with Team Cherry just 1 week before the article was officially teased to the public. And in 2022, Graig knew Xbox would debut to the world a brand new Silksong trailer, but did not foreshadow this fact. I mean, he did hype up the possibility we'd see a trailer, but he did the same thing during the 2021 Game Awards, so this time around, no one took him seriously. Oh yeah, did I mention Graig is a massive troll? For years, he's muddied the water between fact and fiction in his claims, spreading false information like Silksong will be an HK-themed pinball game, and it's a typing game where you teach Menderbug to write his journal, or how it's only playable on the Soldier Boy console. But in all seriousness, Graig really is a mythical troll that lives under a bridge. But multiple times he's claimed to have spoken some truths, and has allegedly taken screenshots of those instances to one day showcase to the community. In case that was a freaking lie, I've taken my own screenshots of his messages, and can say with confidence it's pretty easy to distinguish when he's trolling. Or maybe that's just what he wants us to think. Maybe the quote-unquote fake claims are actually the real ones, and Graig's laughing to himself watching this video because he thinks he's tricked me. Joke's on you, Dungo! I'm already 10 steps ahead of your little game! When discussing lore, release dates, and anything Silksong, the troll messages will be mixed in with the serious ones, and there'll be zero distinction between either. Oh yes! I am a genius! You got him, CC. Absolutely destroy!
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
For the longest time, the masses have worried and complained of Team Cherry's silence. Blog posts nowhere to be seen. Their Twitter feed silent. And if you ignore the latest Silksong trailer because this video was supposed to be released before that, not a trailer in sight. Never fear, citizens of my comment section. Graigman is here to tell you that the game is still in production. A total of 11 times has Graig confirmed this, spanning between 1 to 5 month intervals, but still a far better ratio than Team Cherry's 1.5 year update cycle. But as for Silksong itself, he said some pretty interesting insights, beginning with this conversation all the way back in 2017.
Just chilling at Team Cherry office. They hard at work on the DLC.
Graig, stop with the teasing. As I attempt to zoom into that board in the background.
That board is filled with DLC stuff too, lol. I didn't realize. Whoops.
I think to this day, no one's yet to enhance the images here. I can just make out the bell insignia we see throughout Farloom, and maybe that's Marmu and Zode at the bottom left, but besides that, I'm at a loss. For context on the conversation, Silksong was originally slated to be a paid DLC for Hollow Knight, so everyone called it Hornet DLC before 2019. This means we could be looking at mostly scrapped content. Whatever the case, Graig reposted this image 3 years later, so I don't think Team Cherry minded him sharing.
Hornet DLC will be very good. I wish I could say more. But seriously, you guys are going to be like, holy f***. I can't tell you anything, sorry. I know what direction Hornet is going in, yes, and I know a few things, but honestly, only a few. What I have heard was good. You guys will like it.
You're going to be seeing more messages like this going forward, but I just want to specify that he's saying this in 2017, nearly 5 years ago. Crazy to think what Team Cherry had brewing back then.
You guys are in for some good games in the coming years. Seriously, Team Cherry are planning some cool shit. Now they have money, so they can make everything they wanted to. I got a tiny snippet of what's to come, and it was all amazing. Hollow Knight 2, Tizo's Revenge. Johnny, I learned some Hornet things the other day. Way more juicy than Gods and Glory. DLC's gonna be real good.
Ignoring the date this was sent, I think it's around April 1st that Graig discovered Silksong would be its own game. That's only a gut feeling, but to me, it makes sense the decision was made between the production of Grim Troop and Godmaster.
Hornet is a thing. It's coming early, 2278. I learned a bunch of juicy details about Hornet DLC Saturday night because I got William drunk. Pro tip.
Keep your guard up, William. You never know when some crazy Hollow Knight fan might spike your drink. And ask if Hornet says get good.
Hornet DLC is actually cancelled. Team Cherry are working on Cooking with a Zelda, Poggy's Fry-Up. Hornet will be confirmed a dating sim for Valentine's Day. Yeah, the game's ready, but I keep finding fake bugs just to push it back further. How hard do you think Silksong will be? Well, the balance on Silksong just depends on what Team Cherry wants from it. If they want it to be a true sequel, it'll probably ramp up to a medium difficulty faster than Hollow Knight, but if they want it to be a standalone game for people who haven't played Hollow Knight, then it might be similar in difficulty. This is all my own opinion.
Graig, might I suggest something for the future? Perhaps in Silksong? For the enemy almanac, show how many times each enemy has killed you.
That's actually a great idea. I'll let Team Cherry devs know. They might add something like that in. I'd send you a Hollow Knight key, but I don't have them. I only have these useless Silksong beta keys. Sorry, bud. Nah, it's a prequel actually, set before the events of Hollow Knight 3. I feel potentially Silksong can be harder. The new heal makes for faster fights and allows bosses to do more damage or have combo attacks. The demo's exactly as hard as it looks. It took me a good 30 minutes or so to become comfortable with the new stuff. Once you get used to the new movement though, it's so much better than Hollow Knight, I feel. Very fluid and quick. I think you guys have found everything in the demo now. Pincushions are Hornet's weakness. You won't be as good at Silksong as you think at first. A lot of Hollow Knight's skill comes from knowing the enemy's attacks well. All new enemies and bosses means you will die here and there till you get familiar with them. In that demo you all saw, Lace killed me the first 2 times I tried her, for instance. Well, I've probably died more in this game than almost any player. It takes a lot of practice to get good. By this game, I mean Hollow Knight. I feel like the quests will polarize the community a bit, as some people will love them and others will hate them, as some people really don't like quest stuff. I personally love them in games and usually find myself abandoning the storyline to do quests all day. I'm talking about other games, not Silksong. I can give you a release date. For my upcoming rap album, 25th of November. Fire, yo. I'm dissing his playstyle through this whole video. At the end of the day, I jumped on and was going to make a video showing what Hornet could really do, skill combos, etc. But the Nintendo dude kicked me off before they were closing. I mean like combos involving using her tools, etc. Yeah, skillful play, I mean.
We were so close to seeing some Graig exclusive gameplay. But it sounds like those Nintendo reps run Team Cherry's paycheck. I'll have to wait for November 25th then. when Greg's rap album releases. Wait, what?
Yeah, Sly is actually the best boss, we all know it. He's in Silksong. I feel like updates are kind of just pointless when they are just still working on the game. Well, anything other than a release date is just a spoiler, basically. Something Team Cherry genuinely don't want to give out. They have pretty much given all the info you would want to know in the trailer about the game. Examples, the new kingdom, new quest system, new enemies, etc. Oh, by the way, Silksong only has Umu and Umu variants as bosses. Fun fact, charms were added late into production. There were other ideas, but the idea of charms and stuff was added a bit later on. It was a great idea to add them. I think Sprint should have been an upgrade in the base game. That way you could plan the game around it and it flows very well. Sprint Master was added as DLC, so it's not as good. If only there was a game where it's added as an upgrade. Maybe in this game there isn't a first upgrade. I just melted your mind, didn't I? But hey, maybe not. You'll find out one day.
So if I'm getting this right, unlike in Hollow Knight, where we start with 0 movement abilities or upgrades, the opposite will be true in Silksong. Maybe Hornet will already know how to craft some utility weapons. Maybe there's more to it than that.
In the month leading up to release, I would have 100%ed the game at least 10 times or more alone.
So you're up to 9 100%s on Silksong.
Nice try. SMH when you think Silksong is a tiny little game like Hollow Knight. It's their official map. Look deeper. You'll find that which you seek.
Okay, this might just be another CC Mackay certified crackpot theory, but I think this image could tell us a lot about Farloom. If you look at the outline of Hollownest he made, it's actually quite close to the real thing. We got Hollownest crown poking out at the top, the abyss attached to the bottom, and Kingdom's Edge pronounced on the right. So if the outline of Hollownest is accurate, maybe the outline of Farloom is accurate as well. But that's not all. Just hear me out. What if this map is showing us that the Kingdom of Farloom is geologically below Hollownest? From the trailers, it's implied Hornet's journey across the desolate wastes didn't delve deep underground. But what if that's just a red herring? A ruse to lead us into this incredible plot twist? I could go further and speculate why so much blank space is on this image, but I think my time would be better spent going into hiding, as I'm sure the state has declared me mentally insane after making all these claims. Oh, that's them.
I didn't say I was playing Silksong. I'm playing Hollow Knight 2, silly. It's not me trolling you. Really, you're trolling yourselves by thinking about Silksong all the time.
Honestly, so true. Hold on, that applies to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, I do actually know where Silksong is coming out. PC and Switch on release. Nintendo want nothing more than to put a Silksong release date onto something, lol. They keep posting that it'll come out soon. You won't even care about the lame Pale King ever again once you play Silksong. Anyone else here also thinks Silksong's gotta be a piece of trash? Am I right, guys?
The trashiest. So trash it'll be good out of pure irony.
That was a ruse. You're now all banned for agreeing. Clean him out. Man, you guys still talking about Silksong? That old game? I'm 7 Team Cherry titles deep at this point. You guys should just forget about Silksong. I don't know if you can take this for another 3 years before it comes out. No dreams in Silksong. After Radiance dies, no one can dream anymore. This kicks off the events of Silksong. I've said too much. I do wonder how similar the actual game will be to a 2-year-old demo.
Okay, this one's important. Silksong went into full production around late September 2018. The Silksong demo debuted in June 2019. If Greg literally means it was finished 2 years before this message, that would have been late October 2018. I'd be really surprised if Team Cherry would risk losing dev time on Godmaster to work on a demo, so Team Cherry likely built this in only a few months, maybe even less. So if all this content was made in that short of time, imagine how much they've created over the last 4 years.
I wish Silksong were out, to be honest. I would love to talk with you all about it. It's actually killing me, not being able to.
Greg, your fan interactions are abysmal. You've come here like 3 times this month. And how many times have you given me the release date? That's right.
6th of July, 2022.
Thanks.
No problem.
Graig, bro, mind telling us the release date?
Sure thing, dude. It's March 14th, 2022. Pro tip. Team Cherry would never reuse art or backgrounds for a new blog post. That's how you can spot a fake. I'm allowed to tell you some things. Yeah, like I can tell you the release date, or the entire story, and all the bosses, but nothing else. Everyone thinks I'm a league playing weeaboo. Joke's on them. I'm just a normal creep playing Silksong. I had a dream that Hornet was chasing me. I spoke with a sketch artist about it, and this is what they drew after I explained.
Now that whole map sketch debacle has nothing over the absolutely groundbreaking lore this very image reveals. Baby Hornet.
I could light this place up big time if I wanted to. If only you knew the things I know. Release date is the least interesting thing. Imagine if they made a Zote version of Hornet.
Yeah, that would be weird. Wait. No! 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 No!
Okay, well, Team Cherry just gave me permission to post this here, so here you go. New crest stuff.
Yeah, that kind of looks like Hornet. But it's probably not. Yeah, I got nothing.
Lol, you guys still talk about Void. It's cute. Imagine not knowing. Everything about Silksong is better. If only I was allowed to tell you just how good it really is. Oh well. Silksong is only an hour long, by the way. Hornet just takes an elevator to the top. Game ends. In the Lace date quest, it looks through your Discord post history to see if she'll date you.
I just told it that I was you, Graig, and she dated me right away.
Finally, the correct response. Maybe it is a prequel. Well, it definitely is a prequel. To Silksong 2. Yeah, the fleas are just dumb. Flea leader. Hey guys, come back. Guys? The fleas actually keep getting lost. If you don't save them all within 20 minutes, they start going back to where they were, because they're all idiots.
This is basically Delicate Flower 2.0, and I'm all for it. Honestly, let's see this in the game.
Imagine dudes who don't even know where the white flowers come from telling me about lore, SMH. I feel bad for anyone taking anything I said in this channel as serious. Yeah, I don't actually feel bad, but as a community leader, I have to pretend to. People saw a fully playable demo and thought the game was nearly done, which is a fair assumption to make. Yeah, it's been finished for 2 years now. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Current all categories world record Silksong holder. The game won't be called Silksong anymore. Unfortunately, the mobile developer Wargaming owns the rights to that name. New leak.
Daily question, anything new for Silksong today?
Yeah, they added a bunch of... Oh, wait a second. Nearly got me. Hey Wilbur, I think you need to turn down Absolute Lace's double parry attack. Whoops, wrong chat. Team Cherry forgot their blog password, otherwise they would be posting blogs every 2 months. Oh well.
In all seriousness, there is a reason for the lack of blog posts, as stated in this message.
Blog posts take like a week to plan, by the way. They collect fan art and lots of other things. They carefully plan what should be in there and why, etc.
A week's worth of time could be spent perfecting Silksong, instead of spoiling the game and falling behind on schedule. Which would you prefer?
I'll say this, and maybe I shouldn't, but it's all my own opinion. I feel the game was meant to be out by now, but Team Cherry just keeps adding content to it. It has a scope, don't worry, but it keeps getting better and better. When it releases, you'll see. I'm drawing all these pics in Silksong, by the way. At the Farloom library? What the f***? Silksong final boss leaked? Radiant Last Judge is the hardest. Also, Silksong's multiplayer isn't fully set up yet, so I can't play with them. Oh, I've said too much. Rock release date. Silksong +1.
For context, Greg's currently working on his own Metroidvania called Rock's Odyssey. So thank you for once again revealing Silksong's release date.
Okay, but for real, I actually hold all Silksong world records.
Graig! Have you convinced TC to keep Bowser's Big Bean Burrito in Silksong on release?
Yeah, I did. Took ages though. Lace kills the knight in the first hour of the game, then you have to play as her. Give me $2 million and I'll leak the current build.
Oh, okay. Forgot to mention, Rock's Odyssey is close to starting their Kickstarter campaign. So if you want to play a Metroidvania which combines Ori-style environments with Hollow Knight's exploration and lore, I highly suggest checking it out. And if you happen to have $2 million lying around, then what better place to put it than in the hands of this humble indie game developer? You know, if you're feeling generous, of course. No other reason.
Imagine RPG elements in Hollow Knight. Now think about how Silksong will be. That's right, everyone. Silksong's terrible. Did you guys see the Team Cherry dev update?
What dev update?
I know, right? You can tell that's fake because it's so bland. Luckily, the real map is not so uninteresting.
I feel Team Cherry are kind of locked into the silence. They can't say anything without being bombarded with, "Where's Silksong?" etc. I mean, I get about 10 DMs a day doing just that. So imagine what they would get.
June 7th, 2023. There is a tool where Hornet just yeets batteries into enemies.
I believe your spells change depending on your arsenal.
Why do you think this? Just curious.
Don't they?
I'm not going to say, just wondering why you think this.
Okay. For example, you can use a charged needle throw. It consumes silk. Oh, I'm wrong? I always thought that you could charge your tools using silk.
This could be true. Don't doubt yourself. All theories are pretty much canon for now.
Why do people even compare Dark Souls with Hollow Knight again?
Because Elden Ring is the Silksong of Dark Souls.
Nah, Silksong is closer to Luigi's Mansion. Silksong probably be out in like 3 months. I'm lying. 22nd of December, 2025.
Graig, please tell TC that Sparks on parries. Please. I beg you.
Sparks, you say? Okay, I'll storyboard it for them. Who's she fighting though? Team Cherry put a warp right at the start of the game that takes you to the end credits, just to ruin the game for speedrunners.
Oh, also, thank you to all the voice actors who contributed to today's video. They're all credited in the description, and especially Windet, who's voicing both Greg's messages and coincidentally Sly in Hollowness Vocalized. It's a coincidence, because Greg voiced Sly in the original game. Sly, what are your thoughts on people subscribing to Windet's YouTube channel?
Oh, I approve.
Well, you heard him.
Hi, I just joined the Discord and I have a question. Does Team Cherry watch HK lore videos from Mossbag, CC Makai, and so on? Please say yes.
Yes, they do occasionally.
I imagine them cringing at everything that's completely wrong.
Nah, they love wild speculation. It's more interesting to see what people come up with.
If you don't mind telling, has it ever happened that someone came up with an idea they actually liked more than their own lore?
I don't know, maybe.
Without a doubt, I know this applies to Mossbag. I mean, Greg and William watched his first video Hi, but sadly, I doubt they've watched any of my videos. Maybe they've seen Peppa Pig Destroyer of George, but I do think it's interesting the community can impact the lore of Hollow Knight. With Ari and William sometimes not agreeing on the lore, it makes sense they'd utilize the theories we've created. Maybe a theory or two in this video could turn into canon. Who knows? Let's find out.
What gender is Salubra? Hint, there is no correct answer. Dreamgate changes everything if I think it is what it is. They don't need to be dead for essence. The Dream Realm is more a past regrets thing, not a ghost hunting thing, lore-wise. I heard the Radiance hates Cornifer. There is no confirmation that the Dream White Palace is the actual one. It's a possibility though. Awakened Nail is because the person has a strong mind. The stronger the mind, the greater the dream, or something like that. There is a no-joke 10+ page explaining the lore that Team Cherry has. They won't let anyone look at it, lol. I assume Hornet will have more lore. Yep, you need a Bible or you'll f*** it all up.
Over the years, I've heard the existence of Team Cherry's lore Bible, but I expected it to be a little bigger. I'm sure it's grown after all this time, but still, that's more of a a pamphlet than a Bible, you know? You get what I mean.
Yeah, because Radiance is not a dream fight. Devs have said so. Radiance is actually inside the Hollow Knight for real, so she can kill you. So if you die in White Palace for real, that means you're really there. Well, the devs have said the Radiance fight is a dream fight, as in it kinda is and isn't, because she is actually in there. Anyway, lol, does anyone know if you die for real in the White Palace? The Void is neither good nor bad, it just is. They just are the things they are. The White Palace we see in the game is only a representation of it through the Knight's dream. It doesn't represent the exact White Palace. It could still be the real palace, but also a representation at the same time. The dream world isn't really ever explained exactly. It's true, I actually don't know anything lore-wise. That's super secret. I wouldn't comment if I actually knew anything. Voidheart is more the player knight returning to itself after being away. A vessel can be perfect from the start. The Radiance inside of Hollow Knight might not even be the actual full god. I have a feeling it's more of a vessel. Only King can make soul. The King gives soul to his creations. That's why King's soul generates soul.
There's a secret vault hidden in the Team Cherry office with a piece of paper with the title Lore. And under it, it has written, IDK lol.
Benji, you're not allowed to talk about the things you saw at the office.
Oh God, 111! How to delete it?
Beta charms make Hornet friendzone you.
Worm is just a regular earthworm.
Will said once as a joke that they are gigantic, but was it a joke? Who knows? I'm not giving it for just Hornet. Also, might change in the DLC anyway. The lore isn't really set in stone. A lot of it is up to interpretation. Even Will and Ari have differing versions of events. That's why I'm saying to interpret things differently and see where you go. Maybe the King just likes to kill people with saws. It's not like he isn't a psycho. Radiance is probably not even bad. The King's just insane as I'm pretty sure the Void is the most powerful thing.
Cannon.
No, the Void is way more powerful than a cannon. Oh, Steve-O the Blood Crab? Yeah, he's cool. Oh god, please everyone start calling him Steve-O. 6 months from now, interviewer. Tell us about this Steve-O. Team Cherry. What the
What I want to know the most is, what in the heck happened to Quirrell?
Oh, yeah, he drowned himself. Make a 1 out of 200 chance to see his corpse floating down the river. Face down.
Please, make it so we can pogo off.
Oh my god, you could surf him!
Why are you like this?
For real though, no one knows what happened to him. But I assume he's face down in that river, boy. Put a bunch of rocks in his mask and then just walked into the Blue Lake. Basically all lore stuff is secret. But things like what happened to X person, I don't know. Also some stuff is never answered on purpose. Even Will and Ari have differing views on some events. You never know. Quirrell might have been a psycho or something in his past life. Maybe he deserved death. Something might be called something death or something. That doesn't mean in the lore they are dead, just so that the devs know what they're talking about. The Mantis are fine. You need a strong mind, I guess. I think that's over time though. Radiance will take over eventually. Pro tip of Hollow Knight lore, never be sure of anything. Also, I mean, the King kinda enslaves them, in a way.
Hey Graig, is the Radiance a big joke on how bugs are attracted to light/light bulbs?
I think it might be. Not sure though. Everything is a joke. Everything! Don't forget the Pale King's true name.
Worm? Pale King doesn't have a name. Not that we know of.
Name, not title.
Yeah, that's why I put a question mark. Worm is what he is. Or was, I guess. Pale King is a title. We don't know his name.
I think he does have a name, it's just not in the game though. Also, I don't know it. Dab.
You just know he has one? Seems sus. Watch it be something like Dinkle. Dinkle the Pale King.
I wish. Official lore statement is, if the theory doesn't outright contradict anything said in the game, it's valid. All theories are wrong. Hollow Knight has no theories.
Oh, rejected again.
Life Ender is what Zote's dad does to the grubs.
Wilbo online.
You gonna see all the fake lore I've been saying? Pack it up, boys! The Pale King found his perfect vessel. He just done f***ed it up. The knight isn't perfect, or it would have been chosen. Possibly. Nothing stands a chance against the Radiance in a fight other than Void. In the Void Heart cutscene, the knight shows the Void that one of them, / a part of it, has been taken and needs help. Time to unite and kill that Radiance boy! Okay, what about this? Lifeblood, soul, void, and essence all come from an ancient godlike being that when it died, it created the other lesser gods / worms, etc. Here's some lore. Sly was voted sexiest flyboy by all of Hallownest in a bug internet poll. Esme, more like Isma's sister. The Pale King is closer to a Greek god, powerful but makes a bunch of mistakes, also fairly selfish. Radiance is a god so she can manipulate physics. She's more powerful than the Pale King too. Pale King was opposed, but the more desperate he became, the more he stopped caring about doing questionable things. Hey, is it plausible that the broken vessel is a past chosen Hollow Knight that the king raised for a while, but eventually he discarded him, possibly when he found the real Hollow Knight? He has grown a bit, so he must have been around for a while. Yeah, Lem is actually just really an idiot. Radiance didn't even want to infect him. Don't worry about the grubs. They are slowly melting to death in his stomach acid. Sly is actually controlled by me when you fight him. It's PvP. What if all the bugs are just Nosk playing a puppet game by himself? What if we're all Nosk playing a game right now? Nosk did Pearl Harbor. Kemi, technically I'm not a member of Team Cherry, so what I say doesn't hold any weight. Like how Sly killed Zod's dad. True story. I gotta clarify sometimes, lol, because someone is gonna take my trolling for real one day. What a sad day that will be.
I see through you, Graig. You want us to think you troll on the regular, when in reality, Sly did kill Zod's dad, didn't he?
Can anyone edit the Hollow Knight wiki? Great, I'm gonna try and convince Wilbo to get drunk with me one night and we can make some anonymous edits. Fake news lore. Neck Minute, Radiance and Pale King are ex-lovers. They had a bad breakup. The Pale King and Radiance used to be married, and the entire battle over Hallownest is just the consequence of a messy divorce. The Pale King cheated on her with the White Lady. No, gods don't perceive their creations as kids, just property to split up. Yeah, to spite the other, they want Hallownest to love them the most. It's all a sick game. Here is a 10 out of 10 leaks, 100% legit. Pale King faked the moon landing.
What the f***, Graig? I'm telling Will you leaked. What the f***?
Too late, they fired me yesterday. Joke's on you. The only lore I know that 100% is legit is that Sly killed Lurian's dad. The Pale King is fairly powerful. Well, the worm is. Worms are 100% the most powerful beings that we know of. So did you know that Gru's mother is said like Buzz and not Ooze? I saw some streamers saying Gru's mother. Yeah, I was like, what? Did the Hollow Knight grow in size because of its devotion to the Pale King? Kinda like Godseeker's focus to a god? Graig is life. Through me, you will all grow in size and attain immortality. It's established in the canon, so it can work. Go visit Leg Eater's brother from there, Arm Eater. Warner can't beat the Shade Lord, no way. Unless she gets some like uber god powers or something. There is only one last secret. If you hit Steel Soul Jin 10,000 times in a row without missing an attack, you unlock Sephiroth. My dad works for Team Cherry, so I know this is legit. I asked Ari what fluke meat tastes like, and he said it would be a delicacy, like an acquired taste. So yeah, for what that's worth.
Fluke lore, fluke. Okay. Maybe he's lying. Doesn't sound like it. But you know the whole spiel, mythical troll, bridge, yada yada yada, so who knows?
Sly is a pimp, actually. He needs that geo for his hose.
Now that sounds serious.
Mossbag is always wrong about all lore. Team Cherry has no lore. Did you know the Pale King has a brother named Tim? The Pale King loves saw blades because he likes to watch them go round and round all day. Tim orchestrated the Kosovo bombing strike.
So, is Stone Defender dead or just sleeping?
He actually dies in the Dream No More ending. It doesn't show it, but it happens.
Graig provides deep lore as always. But, does he die and embrace the Void ending?
He goes to live with Shio and the Nailsmith in that ending. Happy trio. When was the first time I told some fake lore? It's a trick question because I never give out fake lore. Bretta's not dead. She left Hallownest with Quirrell, who is dead. Bretta took his corpse with her new husbando. With the whole translation thing, only the English was written by Ari and Will. It's true that with a few genders, the translations have extra lore because the language needed to be gendered, but that's about it. I would only trust the English version. And more importantly, Serpent, Lifeblood is in Silksong, so I wonder if Steve-O will be there too. Yeah, he's the true god above all. All the endings only affect Hallownest. Silksong is set in another kingdom. Elder who? I think. Pretty sure it's who, because his tombstone reads, "Here lies an unknown warrior," and it's a joke about his name. We remember the Elder. Elder who? Sly and Bretta hardly escaped. They were both nearly gone by the time you find them. Bretta might be a god. She did make GPZ with her mind after all. It's true, Sly's the best. Yeah, Godhome Sly is actually much weaker than current shopkeeper Sly. He wasn't as greedy back then. He was young and a fool and thought the way of the nail was the true path. But he learned that this world is all about that sweet Geo boy. I hope Silksong has lore, as Hollow Knight didn't have any. I'm Team Hornet Extra Bio. The Knight is an incel. William made a game about his younger brother going on an adventure in RPG Maker years ago, and it was really good.
This could be one of the unknown games Mr. Mushroom references. In 2 instances of his dialogue, we're pretty certain he's talking to Hungry Knight and Tombcat, both characters from games William Pelling created. So if this mentioned game is ever publicly released, we might uncover another of Mr. Mushroom's many mysteries. But either way, would be cool to play another game by Wildo.
Every time a death happens in Hollow Knight, it adds a corpse to the abyss. When I first played, that area was empty before release. Finally, after all these years, someone got the lore 100% correct and true. Thank you, MatPat. Mossbag literally shaking and crying right now. The Pale King is actually the son of the Knight. MatPat almost had it. The Radiance and the Pale King used to date in Worm Junior High School. She dumped him for the Black Worm and he never recovered.
Team Cherry watches Mossbag's videos to remember the lore.
Someone, you're close. It's actually MatPat's videos they watch for lore. Hello, it's me, Mosswan, the ultimate lore master. I am the fused version of Mossbag and Someone, here to answer all lore questions. While it's true the Shade siblings are void, there is another that is made of void too.
Mosswan should be lowercase. You do not share my true essence.
Don't listen to him, he's an imposter. I'm the real lore man.
Mosswan? What is this? Crossover episode?
Ew, you don't know? Daughter of Sumbag.
Sumbag is my nemesis.
Sumbag greater than Mosswan.
That's not canon.
Yes, it is.
Zote wrote those tablets, not the king. SMH Mossbag. All that Vegemite's gone to your brain.
Confirmed by Team Cherry.
Team Cherry.
You're the one who told me to eat it.
You have the role, so it must be legit.
Saboteur.
Yes, always believe everything I say. I will never lead you astray, Grumbus. Gruz father. Secret last boss. Where is Vegfly Queen? And what about Blackworm? Or actually, never mind.
Mebby pointed out to me a while ago that Worm in Hollow Knight looks like a Bobbit worm. I think it's pretty valid.
What the heck? How'd you know about that? There is a secret black ore too no one has found. My uncle works for Team Cherry and told me about it. Mossbag is lying to you all. He's a plant puppet put out there by Big Gaming to distract you from the real Hollow Knight lore.
Team Cherry paid Graig to say that because I'm getting too close to the truth.
Who you gonna trust? Your friendly neighborhood Graig, or that it's just a prank bro YouTuber? It's true, Hornet is void. Very overly, incredibly destructive. If you all knew the horrible atrocities the Mender clan has committed, you wouldn't feel bad for murdering their kin. Also, none knew the Pale King had died to pass on the kingdom of Hallownest. I guess Hornet is the ruler now? Watch MatPat's video on it, then you'll get it. Why not? It's the only correct lore video. Mossbag is wrong. You guys aren't on the level MatPat is. How is she void if she never enrolled in Void College? Don't feel bad for Elderbug, if you knew all the horrible atrocities he's committed. Mr. Mushroom flies away in a curve, I think. Hollow Knight World is a globe.
Hollow Knight's world is 2D, lol.
No, it isn't. It is 3D. Earth is both flat and round, you idiots. They are in 3D space, they just happen to be 2D. Fragile Greed upgrade. Makes you a god, totally invincible, can teleport, clip through any walls, read minds, complete control over time and creation of life. 2 notches. Boss fight would be over too fast if a Zelda fought. She is the most powerful being in existence. Elderbug is a piece of dude. Zote could be Void. 1, Void's been around forever. And 2, we don't know how old Zote is, what he is, or how he was born. Poor Mossbag, still yet to be correct on anything. Grubs taste really bad, but the flukes are amazing. The black worm possesses powers some would consider unnatural. Pop quiz, what's the difference between a higher being and a worm? If you think no eyes is hard, try fighting their brother. Has eyes. I actually asked Ari one day what flukes taste like, so I know the answer, but I can't say.
Oh, Greg brought it up again. But this time he hid the answer. Is Flukelore under NDA? Did he break NDA? Yes! Definitive Hollow Knight lore! Yes! Put that trivia on the wiki, because Fluke is the official delicacy of Hollowness, baby! Oh, this is the final piece of the puzzle. Finally, the Godseekers, the Desolate Wastes, the White Lady, the... Oh, did I just get Greg fired?
Everything has been found in the game, I think. Lore-wise, there are heaps of things unknown. Lurian has no depth perception, of course he can't design a room. Esme is deep sly lore. You guys aren't ready for it yet. I do enjoy how far behind you guys are in lore lol. The Pale King is yesterday's news. After the Game Awards, when the game releases finally, you'll catch up. The only war Halonesta ever had was against a black worm. I said too much again. Fun fact, Sonya will know a lot of the bug's genders in Silksong before all of you because of French.
Because the French translation of Hollow Knight games is notoriously reliable.
It absolutely is for genders. Team Cherry personally oversee that part. Pale King has tone issues. Only the sound of 200 buzzsaws can keep his mind at ease. I know a little bit about Blackworm. I manipulated Gruzmother into making me a birthday card once. It's RNG all the way down. Umu has ears. Oh, what, you guys are experts on Umu biology now? Umu doesn't actually fly though, it moves space around it and makes the entire universe move.
Well, the Nightmare Heart is almost always sealed, isn't it?
Every second Tuesday it goes for a walk along the beach. Glorifying makes the charms worse. I know everything. Unsteady body. It adds random tripping into the game. Glorified Void Heart. Glorified Void Heart. Glorified Void Heart.
And that's it. Well, not entirely. There's more to Greg's story than Silksong news and Hollow Knight lore. What about his perspective of Team Cherry's history? What about insights on game design after playtesting all these years? He is developing his own Metroidvania. So, if you want me to release the second half of the Greg anthology, you gotta prove it. If I see a massive boost in followers on the Rocks Odyssey Kickstarter page, then you'll get the video. It's completely free to click that green button. Link to it is in the description. See ya!